Hello everyone, dear students. Uh, Today I am going to break down the model of self-surface membrane, which is called fluid mosaic membrane. Maybe you remember in last video I have discussed the structure and properties of self-surface membrane, but now in this video I will explain its model, which is called fluid mosaic. So let's start. Okay, what do you think? Why we call it fluid mosaic membrane? We call it fluid mosaic because fluid is property is came from phospholipid bilayer because it is in the form of fluid. Okay, and it's called mosaic. Why? Because you can see in this diagram, this membrane actually contain uh, different components like proteins, carbohydrates, cholesterol, and these all components are embedded in this membrane, in this phospholipid bilayer. So, and form a mosaic pattern. That's why we call it fluid mosaic membrane. So, basically, it was proposed by S.J. Singer and Gart Nicholson. These are two scientists that proposed this model. So, and it describes the membrane is dynamic and flexible because they have a phospholipid bilayer, so it have movement and it is flexible. It has flexibility due to lipid bilayer. Okay. Okay, I want to uh, explain you that today I'm not going to explain it traditionally. We will also explore its system biology perspective, how this cell membrane work as a system, how all components are connected with each other because in system different components are interconnected and form a system. So let's start with the lipid bilayer. That is a structural foundation. So lipid bilayer, I also already tell you, it is actually a phospholipid bilayer. It forms two layers, that's why we call it bilayer. So it actually acts as a semi-permeable barrier, allowing selective transport. It actually control which movements, which components have to come in or come out from the cell. So it is a selective transport. It also provides fluidity and flexibility so proteins can move. It is flexible so that proteins that are embedded in the membrane can move. So it has amphipathetic nature. It's a very important concept that because it's called amphipathetic both it has both properties hydrophilic and hydrophobic because you can see this is a lipid bilayer and these heads are hydrophilic heads, means they are water loving. They can face water. Hydrophilic. Okay. And these are hydrophobic because they cannot face water. They are water hating component. So that's why it's called amphipathetic nature. Okay, and now I want to tell you its system biology perspective. Actually, I already tell you it is a structural foundation, so we can think it as a infrastructure of the city. We can say that actually it actually as a street or roads of the city that allow traffic to flow in an organized manner. So, so fluidity allows dynamic responses to environmental changes like rerouting traffic during peak hours. Means it's actually control. I already explained you that it controls which elements or which compounds have to enter the cell or which have to stay outside. So that's how it works. Okay, the next one is membrane protein, and it's actually a functional agents. Okay, but and what are how there actually proteins are of two types in cell surface membrane or fluid mosaic membrane. Some are integral, maybe some are integral protein embedded in the. It is actually completely embedded in the lipid bilayer. You can see here, it's completely embedded, and some are peripheral protein. Why it's called peripheral? Because it is attached to the surface of lipid bilayer. You can see here, it is attached only to the surface of lipid bilayer. So these are two types of protein. Okay, now discuss its function. The main function is transporter and channel. Means it help move in the movement of molecules in and out, like gates. I will explain in detail in later. Okay. Okay. The next one is receptor. It sends signal from outside. Means it acts as a receptor on the, like this is the cell surface membrane. Here these are the proteins, and it acts as a receptors. It gets signals from the other molecules. And the third function is enzymes. Like enzymes catalyze reactions at the membrane. It actually help in the metabolism, or it speed up the reactions at the, that occur at the surface membrane. Okay, the next one is cell recognition markers. Okay, like glycoproteins. Glycoproteins for self versus non-self identification. It actually identifies which cells are they own and which are outsider. Like some agents like we can say that bacteria, virus, or pathogens that can and that try to enter the cell. It detect them and immune system will kill them, so they don't enter the cell surface membrane or cross the cell surface membrane. So now I'm going to tell you how it works in a system. So proteins are actually the active workforce of the system, interacting with each other and with lipid network. So how it works? It acts as a receptor plus signal molecule. Like these receptor will give signal molecules cascade and gene expression changes. Means when it gets signals, they there is a whole pathway which is called cascade. You will learn in the cell signaling pathway how what is cascade, and according to these signals, gene expressed in the cell. So this is how it works. Okay, then third one is and last one is highlights emergent properties. The whole system response is more than sum of individual responses. So basically, the proteins are the functional agents. You can see that functional agents, and there are different roles they play by proteins, like transporters, receptors, enzymes, and cell recognition markers. Okay, now moving ahead, carbohydrates, how it works in the cell surface membrane. So, what's its function? The basic function, how it function as a systems in system is act as a communication and identity. Okay. Now I am discuss this function. It actually attached to the proteins or lipid as a glycoprotein or glycolipids. You already know that glyco is actually a carb and protein. Okay, glycolipids means these carbohydrates are actually attached with proteins or lipids to work in a cell surface membrane. And then the second function is cells serve as a cell identity markers for immune response. I already discussed in membrane protein that they are the identity markers. They are the identity markers for immune recognition. Immune system they help immune system to recognize which cells are they own or which cells are from outside. Facilitate in cell adhesion and signaling. It helps in cell communication. Like these are two cells, they have to communicate, and these carbohydrates help in communication between two cells. Okay. In systems biology perspective, carbohydrates are actually the identity badges or signboard in the cellular city. They integrate cells, signals from other cells and the environment, triggering system, wide responses like immune activation or tissue formation. So this is the main function of carbohydrate chains. The next one is cholesterol. Let's see how it works. The main function of cholesterol is membrane stabilizer. Whenever the temperature goes up or goes down, it actually stables the membrane according to temperature. So, insert between phospholipids to modulate fluidity and rigidity. And the other one is protect membrane from temperature fluctuation. As I already told, when temperature goes up, it try to remain to maintain the fluidity in the membrane. And when temperature when temperature goes down, when there is in minus temperature, when temperature goes up, it try to remain some rigidity because at high temperature cholesterol melts or it increase the fluidity. So it maintain the fluidity and rigidity as the temperature fluctuates. So the other is systems biology perspective. Cholesterol is like traffic regulators in the system, stabilizes flow, prevents bottlenecks too rigid or too fluid, and maintain homeostasis for optimal proteins and lipid activity. Means it maintains temperature in whole environment for optimal protein activity and lipid activity. So the last one is the next is functional integration. In this area, in this paragraph, actually, it is tell how my brain acts as a system. That's the system biology. So the membrane is not just a component in isolation; it's a network of interactions. Mean all components are interact with each other. So example of system level processes, you can see signal transduction, like say how cell receives signals, then inside the cell there is an intercellular cascade, and then how cell responds according to those signals. The second is transport networks, channels and pumps maintain ion gradients impacting energy metabolism. And then last one is immune surveillance. Actually, it is act as a recognition markers, help in communication proteins, orchestrate system-wide defense. So, okay, let's see this diagram. I already told you these are the proteins. So, this is cholesterol that are embedded in the, okay, let's change the color. Okay, that's changed. That's actually maintain the fluidity or rigidity of membrane according to temperature. Okay, and this is a polysaccharide chain, glycoproteins that are embedded in the membrane. Actually, these all components are embedded in the phospholipid bilayer and form a mosaic pattern. That's why we call it fluid mosaic membrane. I hope you understand this topic well. If you have any query, you can leave a comment. I will discuss. Thank you very much.